I'm going to divorce my husband of 10 years. My husband and I met when I was 18. It had always been just me and my best friend, but when my husband came along, we became an inseparable trio. For me, it was love at first sight. I had the biggest crush on him, but didn't want to ruin the friendship thing we had, so I kept it to myself until he confessed to me when we were 20. Things went fast and we got married when we were 22. My best friend got married too, and we have all remained close. We had invited my best friend and her husband around for dinner, and we were joking about things when my husband brought up how he had always had a crush on my best friend, but then she got a boyfriend, so he settled for me instead. When I tell you, my whole world just came crashing down. I realized my marriage of 10 years was him settling for second best, that I was never his first option. After that, everything he did just started to annoy me, and he just stopped being attractive to me anymore. We haven't slept together in 6 months because I feel so disgusted. I just want out. I feel like I've wasted my life. I'm disappointed in him and myself for believing I was the one he liked. So the funny thing about this is that this post somehow got back to the husband, so he made a reply post and he says, I destroyed my marriage with a stupid comment and a one-night stand. So I found my wife's post. I'm going to divorce my husband of 10 years. Someone made a video about it and that video got back to me. I would like to tell my side. When I met my wife, I didn't really think much of her. She was funny, kind, and a good friend, but I had no interest in her. Her friend Sarah was gorgeous. She had long red hair and these soft freckles and long lashes. She was my dream girl, but she was not interested in me. I noticed my wife, Amber, was hanging out with me more, laughing at my jokes, listening to me, and it made me consider having more of a relationship with her. Sarah got a boyfriend about a year into us being friends, and her interest in our friendship got dwindled. She hung out with us less and spent more time with her boyfriend, which left me and Amber alone a lot. I ended up giving up on Sarah and focusing on Amber, and we started dating and got married. We kept our friendship with Sarah, but we focused on each other. In the back of my mind though, it's always felt like I had missed out on something. My marriage was boring. Amber and I were basically friends, and I was working hard to save for a house, and she was working hard to save for future kids, so we were existing alongside each other, not actually together. So one day when we were at dinner, I got jealous of Sarah and her husband, who seemed happy and made a comment about settling for Amber. Amber shut down after that. She kept repeating the same questions over and over, and it would make me so angry that I didn't want to answer, so I didn't. I guess that was my first bad move. Sarah messaged me after dinner to check if I was okay, and we kept messaging. She was just reassuring me that I did nothing wrong and it would work out. Then I got a text saying Amber was planning to divorce me. So Sarah came over and we tried to stop her from leaving me, but it seemed to only make things worse. Sarah saw how distraught I was and stayed to comfort me, and we drank, and in one stupid drunk mistake, we ended up sleeping together. Oh my god, you asshole. Sarah confessed to her husband that we slept together, and her husband told Amber. Now both of our marriages are ruined. I regret it so much, and I just wish I could take it all back.
Am I the asshole for refusing to remove a piece of jewelry at the request of my friend on her wedding day? My 31 female friend, 30 female, we'll call Mary, got married last week, and I was in her bridal party. For context, we are friends from high school, and all of the other bridesmaids were her friends from college, who I hadn't met until our bachelorette party several months ago. I was supposed to attend the wedding with my own fiancé, but he contracted COVID 5 days before we were supposed to leave and made the choice to stay home for everyone's safety. I tested negative, and we don't live together. Our 5th anniversary of our first date was 2 months ago, and he got me a beautiful opal necklace on a gold chain, specifically to wear to the wedding because it complemented my bridesmaid's dress. I asked Mary in our bridal group chat if she was all right with us wearing our own jewelry to the wedding. She said no problem. Day of the wedding comes, all of us bridesmaids and Mary meet early in the morning for pictures outside the chapel. Mary sees my necklace and loves it, and actually asks if she could switch her necklace with mine. Some other bridesmaids chime in and say that it would be her something borrowed. I tried as politely as I could to tell her that my fiancé got this for me to wear to the wedding, and especially since he can't be here, I'd like to keep it on. Mary and the other bridesmaids were persistent, saying it was her wedding and her pictures, and I wasn't being accommodating. But I firmly told them no. Mary then said if I could at least take it off, since it looked nicer than her own jewelry. Again, I told her I'd rather not. I'd like to share the wedding photos of myself in the necklace with my fiancé. She was not happy. Neither of the bridesmaids were either. I received a lot of cold shoulders and dirty looks the rest of the ceremony and reception. I felt awful. After the first dance, Mary's sister came up to me to tell me just how upset Mary was and rude it was that I upset her on her big day. Am I the asshole? It's been more than a week and I'm still thinking about it nonstop, and Mary hasn't answered any of my texts.
Oh man, that one's kind of hard. I mean, first of all, if a necklace ruins your fucking wedding, girl, you got bigger problems.
Oh my God.
A necklace, bitch?
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see it. Oh, it's really pretty.
It's cute, but like
Yeah.
nothing to have your day ruined over.
No, and it's also minuscule. Like, it is so small. You probably didn't even see it. Also, why would you want to get married in a necklace that another man bought your friend? That's weird.
Your friend's fiance bought her as like an important gift to mark their relationship.
Yeah, like you want to wear that in your wedding photos?
What the fuck? That's some bad juju.
Yeah, like in your wedding pictures, like that you're
don't
gonna
like
have forever. You're gonna frame and have hung in your house. You
Bad.
want. That's weird.
It makes me wonder if like she secretly at one point had feelings for her friend's fiance.
It's always something deeper.
It's
Because if it's just that, you're like you're Looney Tunes, bro.
Am I wrong for refusing to pay for my gay son's tuition after he came out to his family? My 40 female son, 19 male, came out to my husband 40 male and I when he was 14 years old. My husband and I are both atheists and support the LGBTQ community, and we're both proud of our son for coming out. However, my husband's mother is a devout Catholic and is extremely intolerant of gay people. She is wealthy, and my children were told from a young age that their college would be paid for as long as they attended a private Christian or Catholic school. She believes this will keep them from partying, having premarital sex, etc. I don't agree with this and have argued my children getting the best education possible regardless of the school's religious affiliation should be her top priority, but she refuses to change her mind. My son chose a Christian college one state over to attend. He graduated with a lot of college credit from taking many AP classes in high school and will be done in 3 years as opposed to 4. He currently just began year 2, which has already been paid for. During Labor Day weekend, he came home to celebrate his grandma's birthday. He told one of his cousins that he was talking to a boy at his college and thought he could trust him. He seemed supportive according to my son, but he told his mom and dad, and my husband's sister and her husband are just as religious as my mother-in-law and outed my son to her. She is livid and called me and informed me that she will not be making any future payments toward his tuition and told me to relay the message to him as she will no longer be speaking to him. I have told him many times not to come out to his grandma, cousins, aunt, or uncle until he was through with college. I hate that he can't be himself, but my husband and I cannot afford his college. I do not like my mother-in-law and will be going no contact once my other 2 children, 15 and 13, get their chance to have their tuition paid for as well. My son is okay with me wanting to do so for the sake of his siblings. He will unfortunately have to take out student loans and eat the cost of his final year. My son is obviously devastated. He both will not have his final year of college paid for next year and that his cousin is not someone he can trust. He now wants me and my husband to foot the bill next year. We have $25,000 saved up currently that we plan on using for much needed kitchen renovations. Our oven barely works, our dishwasher doesn't work at all, and all of the kitchen itself is worn down and outdated. My son is calling me an asshole for prioritizing a remodel over his education. We've explained to him our kitchen is falling apart and is much needed and is nowhere near the cost of his tuition, so even if we postponed it, we would still be short as his private school is very expensive. I feel like he is an adult and he needs to be the one to deal with the consequences, not us. Am I the asshole for not using our family's savings to cover his remaining tuition? Am I wrong for not replacing one of my groomsmen after he cheated on a bridesmaid? My fiance and I are getting married in 2 months. I have 4 groomsmen, including my brother, cousin, a close childhood friend, and a close college buddy. My fiance's best friend was in a long-term relationship with him, but unfortunately for her, he got exposed as a cheater. I don't know the details of it, and honestly, I don't want to. I wasn't aware of the cheating prior to the time it was discovered. I feel that his relationship with her is none of my business. My fiancé, on the other hand, does. She now hates him and is demanding that I replace him. She said he'll be a toxic presence to our wedding because the woman he cheated on is going to be a bridesmaid. I was bothered by this. This guy is one of my closest friends. I have known him since we were 18. I want him to be a groomsman. I said that they both can go and just set aside their beef for one day. After all, the date isn't about them. It's about us, and the relationship is none of our business. She said that she was putting her foot down on this and that my friend wouldn't be in her wedding. I said that if it's that big of a deal, she can drop his ex from the wedding and that if she doesn't want that, then we can go along with the initial plan. She's been pissed at me since and hasn't relented on this at all. So, am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for letting my pregnant coworker get in trouble? I, 24 female, work an office job. I have a coworker, Ann, 28 female. Ann is currently 6 months pregnant. We have a dedicated break room where we go for lunch as we aren't allowed to eat anything or drink anything except water bottles in the office because of the computers. We all have our own break schedules that are the same every day. Ann and I go to break together. Our lunch break is from 1:30 to 2:30. No one else is on the schedule and take their breaks earlier or later. In the break room, there's a few chairs and a couple of couches. Over the past 2 weeks, Ann has started taking naps on one of the couches during during her lunch break. I know it's not my business as to what she does on her break. She can do what she wants. Last Friday, Anna and I were taking our breaks as usual. I was listening to music on my headphones, and when it was around 2:30, I got up to go back to work. I didn't really pay attention to what Anne was doing. Everyone was confused and was saying, "Where's Anne?" by around 3 o'clock because they needed her. And our boss went into the break room and Anne was still sleeping. Anne got a warning from our boss. Anne is now angry with me because our breaks end at the same time, so I should have woken her up. She said I am selfish and careless. A lot of our coworkers are on Anne's side and agree. I told Anne if she can't wake up, she shouldn't sleep during her break. She said the baby makes her tired and accused me of calling her lazy and being insensitive. Just an edit. When my break was ending, I was scrolling on my phone and listening to music. I have ADHD. When I do these things, I'm quite oblivious to my surroundings. I didn't not wake Anne because of malice. Honestly, I feel like everyone's a grown-ass adult, especially if you're in the workforce. It's no one's responsibility to go check on you. Yeah, it would have been nice. You're not the asshole for it. She should be able to set an alarm. Like, it's not your fault.